Hi everyone. Okay, this video is going to talk to you about the biggest problem of all, even though I've discussed it before in part, but I'm going to go a bit deeper. Why is it that 95% don't succeed and they fail? And why is it the 5% do succeed? These things nobody will tell you. Nobody, go out there, go and do your research. Nobody's going to tell you that. The number one reason that people fail is because they do not know all the things they need to know to get to the top, to get into the 5% group. They just don't know. If you listen to the audios and videos on this channel I have recorded earlier, it will tell you that I've talked a lot about why they don't know and why they think they do know. So we've talked plenty about that. But there's another reason that I haven't disclosed to you yet, which I will today. And that is why they don't know. Another reason for that is that they don't have time. So many businessmen have failed because of not having enough time to step outside the box to have a think of what they're doing wrong. When we're inside the vehicle, we can't see what's going on. You got to step outside the vehicle to see what's going on. You got to look at where you're starting from and where you're getting to. Time. Now, that's the second biggest factor. In fact, it's the first factor, because if you had the time, you will sit down and think things through very carefully, and you'll have begun to realize in your research there's a lot more to getting to the top than what you first anticipated. But not having why don't they have time? 99% of the people are busy working, supporting their families. It is those people that are busy working that want to get out of their situation to get to the top. People who just want to sit around, do nothing, they ain't going to bother with any of trying to get out of their situation to get to the top. Nah, they're happy with the way they are, just can't be bothered. When the other group, the 99% who are working, and they try to get out of their situation, the situation they're in with working, which I've talked about plenty before, they want to get out of working for somebody else, making somebody else rich. They want to get out of there. But they've got no time. Because this is what nobody will tell you. Because you can't see all the things that are involved that you're going to have to do to get to where you want to get to, it's a blind spot. Because you can't see it, you can't sit down and work out, well, okay, I can see I'm on this side of the river and I've got to get to the other side of the river, there's no boat. You see, there's no boat. You got to find the boat, and then find the boat is already full, or the boat is too small, or the boat is too far. So people just do not have the time, and when they do delve in, because they don't know how big of a problem they're really trying to solve to get to the top, they don't know. When they get in, every day they discover a new puzzle. After a while, 95% of them just give up and go back to their old job. So the solution is, there is a way out. You keep digging, and you say to yourself, giving up is not the option. The fact that you haven't got time is something you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to make time. Number one, you're going to have to make time out of the time you think you don't have. Because if you don't make this time, you are not getting out of where you are. Period. Number one. Number two, you're not going to be able to make the time. That's why very, very few get through. Because when you're looking at the situation you're in and you've got no time and you're seeing, my God, this is a mountain, how am I going to climb that? I'll just carry on as I am. And people go back to their old ways again. Now, in my own view and my own study, and I've been looking at these mentors for 15 years and how they do things, I don't know of anybody who's made it to the top without 15, get ready for this, it's going to sting a little bit, all right? 15, 20 years of study. Ain't nobody out there done it in 5 minutes. So forget it. Just go back to your own way. I'm telling you the truth. Let's just carry on struggling, working for somebody else. This isn't for you. Because the ones who made this decision of rebellion, by the way, it's not your fault for not having the time, okay? The system is rigged in such a way that we just can't move. What is the man and the woman supposed to do? Are they supposed to keep a roof over their head, feed their family, or go out? You're looking at about 3-4 year hardcore study to get out of your situation. And they will tell you it's a 5-minute job or a 6-month job. It's not, it's a lie. It's not a 5-6 month job. There are 3-4 main things you have to master. Number 1, you have to come to terms with the fact. You might not like it, but all these 4 actually are very painful facts. On top of the list is you don't know, and you've got to admit that. Number 2, you've got no time and you've got to make the time out of no time. Number 3, you're going to go out and study knowing that this is not a 5-minute job. It's going to take me 3 or 4 years to get to the top, to get into a position where I can leave my job, because you're working, you've got family to support, you've got your own life to live. There's only so much time you do have, and you're going to have to take some of this time out of there to be able to study. That's why it's going to take you so long. I have one of my students, he said he worked 6 hours a day for 8 weeks on the trot. 6 hours a day, 7 days a week, 8 weeks on the trot, just to study about 5% of the material, and now he's mastering it. The 3-4 things you need to get very good at. Number 3, I was saying, was that you need to know that all the customers in the business are going online, so you got to be online. Then online, whether you're a business or a customer, you're going to have to search for your products and services online, or as a business, you're going to have to advertise online. Now you go out to the agencies and they will rip you off. You got to get good at this yourself. Marketing. Ain't nobody going to do you no special job here. You got to get good at this yourself. You got to master pay-per-click, number 1. Number 2, you got to know how to get your advert in front of the correct audience who are looking for what you are giving them. 2. Number 3, you got to know your competition inside out, so you can make an offer to your audience that makes them leave your competitors and come to you. 4, you got to know what is it in these customers that makes them want to buy what you're selling. 5, if there is a customer who is standing at your store looking at a product and service, and there are 10 others doing the same thing as you, and if they do not buy from you but they buy from somebody else, you have failed your customer. That's going to be in the next video, by the way. It is you that have failed to serve your customer. How come he did not pick you? If you listen to my audios and videos, they'll tell you that you and your competition should be 10 miles apart. The customer should be able to see you and your competitors a huge difference of benefits and value they get from you that they don't even consider the others. But instead of doing that, he doesn't buy from you, he buys from your competition. Now you have to master all that. Master pay-per-click. Know how to craft an ad. Know how to get this ad in front of the correct audience. And when it comes there, beat your competition, because of the way you know your competition inside out. So you make an offer, you know your offer is miles ahead of your competition. When the customer sees that, he's going to come running. And even if he doesn't buy now, he buys in 6 months, 10 months, a year later, he's going to come running to you. Why is that? Because the customer, you have told him, you're giving him 10 times what anybody else is. 6, you have to go out there and work out what can you do to your product and service that you created to deliver it in front of the customer in a way that outmarks the competition, and provide a great service as long as you've got a product that people want. That's all there is to it. Now, to master all those, you're talking 2-3 years. That's why I created my own niche in doing this. What do? If you've got a business, I'll tell you I'll do all that for you, because I know you got no time. You go and run the business, and I'll do the 6 for you, and you just pay me a rental for the customers I give you. So you give me, say for example, I give you 10 customers, right, and say you make £1,000 profit as an example, you just give me £100 a month as an example for you, right? So you got a client who I give you £5,000 worth of profits in clients, whatever business you're in, so you give me £500 a month. That's profit. So if you've sold the product for £25,000, £5,000 for each customer, and you make £1,000 from each customer profit, and you made profit from 5 customers, so you made £5,000 profit, you just give me 500 quid. I do everything for you. Do you see what I mean? I've spent time to learn and master this to the level where I can now say to you that you don't need to pay me any money. I can get you out of there and get you lots and lots of business. You concentrate on running the business and I'll take care of everything else. But if you are interested, then I can tell you, I can teach it to you in about 6 months, I think. I can do it in 6 months. What it would take you about 4 years to learn. Or even 5, because you're going to have to go through. And I've worked and lived and studied with people who know this stuff inside out, who've spent millions and millions of pounds and decades in research to work out what works and what doesn't. And what I do is what works, and what I'm teaching you is what works. That's why it's a shortcut. They spend years and millions on research and tweeting, and you got it given to you right in front of you on the table. But the best part is this: it doesn't stop your business when you're learning from me. You carry on doing your business. And I can sit down with you. There's 3 programs I got. I can give it to you on a software. You can, in your own time, step by step, over a year, you can learn the whole thing from home while your business is running, making you money. You just sit down 1-2 days a week, 2-3 hours at home and study it. And you got a question, you call me and I'll take care of it. I'll explain to you how that works and how that works. So you master what you're paying me 10% for yourself, and then you can go and, it's like the story of the man. You catch a fish for a man, you feed him a fish every day, and then one day the man says to you, you come here every day, you spend an hour looking for a fish, you catch the fish, and then you give it to me. And then you cook it and you feed it to me. Why don't you teach me how to fish and teach me how to cook it? Then you don't have to come here and I can feed myself for the rest of my life. That's what I do. Anyway, so I hope you've understood. Not having that time, and you certainly ain't going to get no time, because we're busy, and it's not your fault. Stop kicking yourself for not having the time. Look, I was in the same boat as you, and when I learned all this, my mentor told me, you're talking 2-3 years to learn this. This is not easy. The knowledge is going to come to you. You've got to digest the knowledge. You've got to try and test it bit at a time. Things that I'm telling you, you're going to learn a lot, and slowly, look, it takes 3 years to get a degree with a £30,000 debt around your neck for a job that doesn't actually exist, and I think the government, the universities and the students know that. Still do it. That's the system. You're trapped inside the system. Stop kicking yourself for not knowing. You say, I haven't got the time. We are brought up in a society where they do not teach you the stuff that makes you successful in life. That's why it's such a huge 95% of the people just do the normal stuff. Remember the stuff I told you when my taxi company failed? Listen to the audios. I told you, we had 26 years of experience, and we went and did advertising for our taxi company. And the taxi company failed for other reasons as well, as the advertising was not working. Why were we doing something we wasn't working? Guess what? We were doing something, not only it wasn't working, we thought it's the only thing that we knew how to do because everybody else was doing it. We did what we did because everybody else was doing it. We didn't do what we did because it worked. And it took a business mentor to tell us that when we tested, is our advertising working? Because Chris told us to test it. When we tested, we found out 10,000 leaflets that we delivered, we only got 5 calls out of it. And it cost us £400 to deliver 10,000 leaflets. For 26 years, we did not know that. Even though we were taxi drivers before, and we only did delivery for about 4 or 5 months before we found out that advertising is not working. But other companies have been doing it for years. That's not just taxi companies. 99% of the conventional advertising, when you put leaflets to people's doors or advertise in the local pages magazine, it does not work. Because the adverts are not zero targeted to the people who are looking for the product or giving a compelling offer. Your offer at best is the same as your competitors, so the customer doesn't have a reason to reach out for you. These are the 5-6 things that I've highlighted in this video, giving you why things don't work. In the next video, I am going to talk to you about the businesses. Failure is the best thing that can happen to the people who want to get to and will not stop at anything, want to get to the group of the top 5%. Failure is the best thing that can happen to them. I'll tell you why.